My identities are biracial Nigerian and Black American, and at times it contradicts itself as well as collides in my day-to-day life. Through cultural norms and traditions, my ideas are sometimes skewed and misinterpreted by myself or by family members on both sides. I have found over time that my identity is a constantly changing entity of my existence. Through teachings from my mother and father, I have found that I constantly am experiencing new sides of who I am. With both cultures combined, I have found that the identity that I have is not something that can be forced or written. Instead, this identity must be absorbed through childhood and everyday experiences. Through my childhood, I was influenced to believe that I should not claim my Black American heritage and that it was somehow less than any other ethnicity that I could possibly take on. Fortunately, that notion is the farthest thing from the truth. Due to the fact that our heritage has been stripped from us and then replaced by betrayal, anguish, and abuse, we have found that what truly describes our race is perseverance, strength, and tenacity. Though at times we have been the subject of police brutality, extreme discrimination, and dehumanization, we as a cultural group have continued to survive. My Black is growing and ambitious because I have realized that this Black identity is only contained by the ceilings that I let others in white space and the Black American culture create for me. I strongly believe that the Black identity that I have is truly meant to change the world and change the face of our Black and American society. Even though our Black American culture was not built on solid ground, I strongly believe that it will forever change the course of history. Through history, our identity has been shaped by experience, historical events, and people who dared to change the face of our society. Our nation was built off of immigration and on the backs of those who were sacrificed to create the nation that we live in today. Although many Americans came to the U.S. with the hope of achieving what is now the American dream, many more were sacrificed for individualistic goals. Like so many others, my ancestors began coming in mass numbers to this nation in the 1600s as slaves. Over 500,000 people of African heritage were transported to the United States in chains. As slaves, we served many purposes, from harsh crop management to daily chores in order to serve the needs of others. There were no contracts, hourly wages, and or weekends off. Our times as slaves or forced and imprisoned laborers created an identity that has set back and disadvantaged our people from the moment we set foot on this land. My Nigerian identity has created a rich feeling of pride in having deep roots in a country. In Nigeria, I experience a bigger sense of belonging. My father's rich cultural background has created a true sense of love and pride for one's country. I'm able to know that this culture has never discriminated against who I am ethnically and who I will become. They will take pride in all that their children do abroad and nationally. Through my father's teachings, I've been taught how to uphold myself and with respect and tact. I found that my Nigerian heritage has shaped how I view things as well as how I view this world. I believe that because I was raised by a Nigerian father who is an outsider, that I am able to see things for what they actually are. As a Nigerian woman, I at times feel disgusted and very separated from this North American nation that I was raised in. I have a hard time completely agreeing with the words and beliefs that are displayed around me. Although I was born and raised in this country, I am not always able to truly understand the intentions and objectives of those that continuously choose to hurt others or degrade a group of people because they are different from the white space. I have realized that the reason I have a strong pride in my Nigerian culture is due to the fight I had to win to proudly wear that green and white flag. Fortunately, by fighting against the prestigious American stereotype, I've been able to claim the ethnicity that has been given to me by my father and shape my identity to integrate a culture that I have to actively include into my day-to-day life. Whether it be from a naming ceremony to Nigerian functions, I've been able to experience traditions from thousands of miles away. My father and extended Nigerian family have instilled ideas and beliefs in me that I was never aware of until speaking openly with others. The beauty and curse of my cultural teachings and environment is the blessing of being raised in another country within a completely different culture. This different culture has frequently been at odds with the Black culture, and I have been raised to embrace it. But my Black culture and Nigerian culture brought upon a greater pride in myself as well as truly embracing a different point of view. I found that my identities in white space have created a distraction for me. This distraction has helped me to better advance my knowledge for and comfortability with talking about my race and my beliefs. As a child of multiracial heritage, I have been engulfed in a mixture of cultures. I've had the privilege to see how cultures can mix and prosper within white space confines. I sometimes wonder how things would be different if the two cultures did not share the same lineage. I believe that historical prosperity in multiracial marriages and relationships is due to a balance within the relationship and nurturing of children as well as each other. Without balance, I have observed that society can begin to create detachment between a multiracial individual and one, if not both, of their cultures. Multiracial relationships and upbringings need to have a relative amount of ethnocentrism to maintain their pride in the whole body. Through Through historical identity research, I have been able to actively learn about the cultures that I claim every day. It is interesting that many cultures are able to go hand in hand, whether it is through a mutual respect or sympathy for the struggle that every minority group within white space has experienced. I have learned that although our past is filled with torture and enslavement, it by no way speaks to the potential of our future. Although our cultures have been given a disadvantage that has been hard to overcome, our future is still full of unimaginable potential and tenacity. I'm very proud of the heritage that I have because even in strife, our people have risen above the obstacles that have been put in our way. I hope that with knowledge of my lineage and my past, that I am able to positively impact my community and inspire others to make achievements that can help our race continue to prosper and disprove the stereotypes given to us in white space. My identities are not a disadvantage or proof of a dysfunctional past. Instead, they are a proof of the fight within us all.